Hey guys, welcome to Panthers forecast. So just got back to the game. Really excited. We got the win 30-0, and yeah, it was a really good game. We didn't have too many issues with protecting Bryce. The game was still competitive, I believe, until I believe we either entered the half like 20-0, but I believe like the first quarter into the second, we were like up like 0-10. I know that was the first quarter score, and then the second quarter, yeah, we were about like I think up 0-20 or so, or 0-17. But the pass protection for Bryce looked pretty good. I was surprised not to see Xavier Lee get into the game. That was an interesting call. They had Bryson Tremaine, and in the beginning, yeah, he did get some few plays going and moving, and then also, man, Hunter Renfro had like two big drops, but I mean, it really didn't matter. But there was one where Bryce was scrambling out to the pocket and he threw it, and it would have been for 20. And I think the defender was still a couple of yards behind him, and he probably could have got up and got some more yards. But it didn't help us. Our defense looked good. We stopped Penix, and then also Bijan Robinson. We were able to keep him contained. There was one, I think, play where he did run pretty hard, and I thought he was gonna break it, but luckily our third level was able to keep him down from getting up, because I think he could have taken that to the house. And that was interesting. He only had about, I think, probably two runs. That one run I was mentioning about earlier, I thought he could have took it to the hole, but luckily we were able to stop him and get him down. Outside of that, it was really good. Shad Smith Wade had that pick six. That was really fun. That was really exciting. I wish I would have got that on the camera. I mean, on my phone as a video, but I was able to get the the Mike Jackson interception. I did capture that. I'm gonna see if I can probably get that uploaded or so, and show that. But it was really crazy. And then also I was able to get on video Bryce Young running it in for a touchdown. But overall, just a good game. Our schedule, our next opponent is the Patriots. So, and it's in New England. We should probably win that. I mean, as long as our defense plays good, as long as our offense. I mean, I don't think the Patriots really have too many like weapons per se. The only weapon I might be concerned about is the, I can't remember his name, but there was a defensive tackle that we were going to sign from the Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles, but at the last minute he changed his mind and he went to New England. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that's who I'm going to worry about, their little front. But I think if we up against New England, if we take care of the ball and Bryce is able to navigate the pocket the way he did against Atlanta, and there's not so much pressure, that I think we still fair a chance. I don't think that Derek May should cause us too much trouble, and I don't really think they have the best of like wide receiver issues. So I think that game's going to come down to just fundamental football. Take care of the ball, don't turn over the ball, and yeah, that game's just gonna go out there like that, because I really don't see us putting the brakes down on them like we did the Falcons. I don't know if we're gonna go over there and skunk them 30-0. That would be nice, but I don't really think we're gonna do that. I think it's I think we can win that game. I'm just I'm hoping we can keep up this trend of Bryce Young in the pocket, moving good, not getting sacked. He didn't really get sacked all too much. He was able to get away from most of the pass rush from the Falcons, and he was able to either go up the sideline and get a couple of yards, or be able to throw it away and get a good pass chunk play on that. And after the Patriots, we got the Dolphins and the Cowboys, and then we have the Jets. So our next four games look reasonable that we can win. The Dolphins are going with it with Mike Daniels. Him on the hot seat, and then Tyreek Hill. Just having issues with Tua, and then their on and off relationship with him and Tua. So I mean, that's a good one. They're coming to the bank, and then you got the Cowboys. You don't have to worry about Micah Parsons. I don't really think they got too many good running backs, so we don't have to fear about that. And that's a win. And then we go to the Jets, and the Jets are the Jets are a pretty good team. I just think they got bad luck because the first game against Pittsburgh, they probably should have won that game. I can't remember their week 2 game. I think they may have came back close, but they ultimately lost, and then they just lost to Tampa, which that sucks because it had Tampa lost today, that would have been great. We would have just been a game behind Tampa in the division. And that's how I think we can make the playoffs, is that we have to win this division. I don't think we can win it outright with our records. I think we're going to have to win this division to get into the playoffs. But yeah, we definitely needed the Jets to come up big on the against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they were able to pull that one off at the end. So I mean, the Jets, I think the Patriots, Dolphins, and the Cowboys will be, those are winnable games right there. The Jets, that one could be a little tricky. Like, yeah, you would want to say like, yeah, we can win it, but the Jets are, they got a little something there brewing. They just haven't been able to get a win. So, but then after the Jets, the season kind of picks up a little bit with the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers. But that's, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, we just gotta. We'll see about the Bills and the Packers. I don't know. Those might be losses. But I'm interested to see how we can contain, because our young defense played good. Now, obviously, Penix is still. This would be like his first full season being a starting quarterback. He came on late at the end last year, but against the Bills, I am very interested to see how we try to contain. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP of the league. So I'm interested in that. But outside of that, defense looked good. JC almost had an interception. It was overall a good game, and yeah, I'm hoping to upload some photos and some videos to show you. Yeah, I had a great time. I even got to meet R-Truth from the WWE. Took a photo with him, so it was pretty cool. And yeah, it was really fun. And then I had to stop by the store, and now they didn't have a Sean Smith Wade jersey for whatever reason. And that's the one thing I hate about the some of these team stores. You would think that they would have all the players, their jerseys on there. They only had a few. If you haven't been to the Charlotte team store, they really only have Bryce Young, Tedero McMillan, Chuba, I think Akeem Aquanu, Derek Brown, and I think they got a few of Dalton in there. They have J.C. Horn, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I didn't even see a Jalen Coker jersey. Oh, Leggett, Xavier Leggett is in there as well, and that's pretty much it. I didn't see no Jalen Cokers. They also had the old school, I think Wesley Wall, Jake Delhomme, Julius Peppers, Steve Smith Sr. And interestingly enough, they don't have Cam in there, so you won't see. And that is now that I think about it, you don't even in the team store see a lot of Cam Newton stuff, which is, but I know Cam and that issue with the Panthers, that's been documented, and people have been talking about that, but yeah, that's just one thing I always found weird about the team stores. I just wish that they would have more players. 2 years ago, coincidentally enough, so I went to the Houston Texans versus the Carolina Panthers 2 years ago, that was Bryce Young's rookie year against C.J. Stroud. That was our first win of the season, on that field goal. And I was looking for who had a pretty good game. Frankie Louvu. Frankie Louvu was on our team at the time. He had a great game. He was all over disrupting C.J. Stroud, and his jersey was not in there. And I was mad that like his jersey wasn't in there. And of course, I go get Brian Burns a jersey. I think he played good as well. And then we eventually trade Brian Brian Burns. So, but I went to the store after we won. I wanted to get a Shaw Smith Wade since he had the pick six, but they didn't have his jersey, and so I had to settle. And I got J.C. Horn, who also had a good game. So, right there. Yeah, I got that, and then I got a little. Let me bring this. Where did I put her at? Yeah. Got a little souvenir, a little cup right there, and then met some cool people, cool couple. They gave me an on-field experience pass, so I was able to get down on the field and see Chuba, Jay Stu, Luke Kuechly. I didn't get to get any pictures with them, but outside of just getting a picture with R-Truth, but it was still pretty cool to be close and see those guys. It was really cool. Even got to see Jake Delhomme, so that was also pretty cool. But I think this win was much needed, and I'm interested to see if we can carry this momentum, because again, with the Patriots, Dolphins, Cowboys, and Jets, we can potentially get back into the division hunt, because that's how I think we're going to get into the playoffs. Now, the Saints are probably going to be picking first. Like, let's just be real with that. The Saints are probably picking first in the NFL. What is that? In the 2026 draft, the New Orleans Saints select Arch Manning. That's probably where they're going to go. But right now I'm looking at ESPN.com. I'm gonna try to go look at the Bucks. Let me see if I can find the Tampa Bay Bucks, because so the Bucks and the Falcons. We need to be careful on that, but the Bucks got to start losing, because that's not going to help us. And I know there's no way in hell the Bucks are going to be like a. Well, we have 17 games, so they're not a 14-3 team. Like, I'm not buying that BS. Like, there's no way in hell they're a 14-3 team. So they're going to start losing. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, here we go. And then plus also the Bucks have. So their first game, the Falcons could have won 23-20. The Texans, you got 20-19. And I watched that game against. Well, I also watched parts of the Falcon game. I was more concerned with the Panthers game, and I was watching multiple games. But the Falcons were staying in there. They were pretty competitive against the Buccaneers, and then also the Texans. It was just a last minute thing, and then here they go with the Jets. The Jets, they had a last minute thing with the Jets. Now they're gonna play the Eagles. Hopefully the Eagles can slow them down and we take care of the Patriots, because then that would just put us one game behind them. That'd put us one game behind them. Yeah, because they would have 3 wins and we would have 2. Then, Christ, okay, never mind. Let me not say that, because it's in Seattle. So, okay, at first I thought it was Seattle going to Tampa, but now I see it's in Seattle. Maybe. I mean, the Eagles game for sure, they can lose. The Seahawks is going to be in Seattle. So, it's an afternoon game, okay. And let's see, they got the 49ers. I don't know if Brock Purdy's going to be back for that game. That to me, that's a little iffy. that seems favorable to them. They got the Lions, so their next, what is that? Their next four games are Eagles at Seahawks, 49ers, and at the Lions. Shit, they're damn man, their schedule is Christ. I just look. Yeah, I looked at the remaining schedule. Damn, man. I mean, yeah, they probably could win like they're probably going to be in the 10 to 12 range. They have to lose in. We have to when we play them in December and then I believe January. We have to capitalize, and we cannot afford to lose. Hopefully, we're healthy. Hopefully, we're rocking and rolling. But with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's looking like it's going to come to that because with these next four games of Eagles at Seahawks and 49ers and at the Lions, in a perfect world, I'd love to say they'd go 0-4 and we can get back into this. But this could easily be in Tampa's favorite. I mean, I can see like a 3-1, like they win three out of these games and lose one being the Eagles, but then they beat the Seahawks and 49ers and Lions. But I mean, they probably go 2-2. So we'll see. But then I'm gonna go look at the Falcons schedule, and I think it's just gonna be us, the Falcons, and the Buccaneers for this division win, and for us to hopefully get back on track. So the Falcons will be playing the Commanders. So okay, yeah. They got the Commanders. Then they have the Bills. Then they have the 49ers. They're going to San Francisco. Then they have the Dolphins. Those next two games are going to be interesting. And then you had Penix get pulled for Kirk Cousins in this game. So I believe Penix should be started against the Commanders. He didn't really look too good in this game. That one pick six he had against Charles Smith-Wade, he didn't really look at the receiver. He just, I guess, took a leap of faith, and then he just threw it, just straight line to the receiver. He just turned around, threw it, and then Charles Smith-Wade jumped around and was able to intercept it. And then I believe on his second interception to Mike Jackson, I'd have to look at the video again, but I believe one of the receivers slipped, and that made it possible for Mike Jackson to run up and get the pick. I could be wrong on that. I do know for sure for the Shaw Smith-Wade interception that if he would have looked or so instead of just throwing it, he just probably just went. It's like he went, okay, and then he just threw it and then it just got intercepted. I don't think he really was fully aware of that situation. But I think Penix should be starting against the Commanders. I don't think Kirk's going to be coming into the game. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is probably his first bad outing. They won against the Vikings. And then in the game that I was watching against the Buccaneers, he didn't really play that bad. So, I mean, Penix is going to be their starter. Now, if he has more games like this, and, I mean, it doesn't help to have these two games against the Bills and the Commanders. And then, they got the 49ers and then Dolphins. So, those first three games could be testing for Penix. But yeah, but overall, with that, yeah, we got to keep this up. It's looking like winning the division is still going to be tough. That 0-2 start that we had didn't help us out, but we're we're going to fight back, and hopefully we can get back in there by taking advantage of the Patriots, and then hopefully taking advantage of the Dolphins and the Cowboys and the Jets, and then hopefully we can get things going. But for our next game, or just in the future, I just think that I think we should all pay attention to Bryce's presence in the pocket, how the pass rush gets to him, because today it was flawless. He was moving in the pocket. He was able to evade pass rushers. Seemed like he had enough time. A few drops with receivers, but it didn't come back to haunt us. Travis Etienne, he had that special team fumble, which I thought that was going. And I'll say this too, also too, in that game, we were fortunate that the Falcons, because what also helped us in that game was that the Falcons missed their first two field goals, because when that Etienne fumbled happened. Their new kicker, I don't know his name, but after they cut Young Shu Q, I believe that's his name, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but after they cut him, they had this new kicker, and he missed, I want to say, 2 to 3. So in the ETN, they were in good field position. Our defense stopped them from scoring a touchdown, which was really good, which was very good. That helped us out, because that Travis Etienne fumbled, had they scored, could have changed this game. And Atlanta had 2 opportunities to sort of get back. I want to say when the score was still 7-0, they had at least 2 field goal tries, and they missed them. And when they missed those field goal tries, they started going for it on 4th downs. If you were watching the game, you saw that they went for it on 4th down. I believe maybe 3 times, that they may have converted 1, I believe, but that also helped us because we were able to either, I think we got a field goal on one of their turnover for downs, and then we should have scored, but we had some penalties and whatnot. But that played a huge role. So what I would love for us to have is like I said, just better Bryce moving around in the pocket, not getting sacked too much. And also, we need to start capitalizing and getting more touchdowns. Like, that worked with Atlanta, but we're going to have to start scoring. And T-Mac is going to have to start catching the ball in the sort of touchdown situation, because Bryce stayed in the pocket on one, and he threw it down the field. And T-Mac, we've been seeing this a lot with T-Mac, where he will be in the end zone, and then he'll stretch out a hand, and that one hand will touch it. So they got to get that. They got to get that underway. We got to start having these deep ball touchdown scenarios with T-Mac. We need that. That would do wonders for our offense. And our running game, that needs improvement too, because it's not the same. I think we've gone a step back. Like, it's still serviceable and it can still help us out, but it's not really something that's game changing. Like, right now, I just think that as the Panthers, we're like, we're almost there. We just, like, I still believe we need speed. Bryson Tremaine is good. He's a nice, more fluid, big body target, but we still need speed. I think we need speed, but we also need to get that running game going. And it was good to see Rico Dowdle get involved, but we also need to. What was I about to say? So I remember with the Rico Dowdle, and we need speed, but we need to get Ted. We have to start getting Ted these deep ball touchdowns. Like, it can't be the same old Bryce throws it in the end zone. Everybody's like, oh my God, Ted's about to score, and then his hands is out and only one hand touches it, and we have to find something to help us out on that. And then on the defensive side of the ball, our CBs are looking good. Mike Jackson, Shaw Smith Wade, J.C. Horn, they're looking really good. As far as our linebackers in this game, Trevor Wallace did a good job and Trevor Wallace and Ashawn Robinson did a good job of stopping Bijan Robinson as well as Roseboom, and I think Roseboom had he was leading us in tackles. But let me go back and look at our schedule again, because that is something. I do believe in this, and we're doing good. And I know people don't want to break up the draft as much. And
I thought you worked in his house.
let me
Cantina.
turn that down, and let me go back and look at the Panthers. Well, yeah. So I mean, yeah, our next 4 games we shouldn't. I don't, well, no, now that I think about it, the Dolphins, but I mean, with JC and Mike Jackson playing well in our defense. But yeah, we definitely, this upcoming draft, are going to have to take a look at the linebacker position. And then I still also believe offensive line. We gotta start setting that up. But as far as our DNs, our D tackles, and our CBs, they've been pretty good. I just think that maybe safety and linebacker and our offensive line are some of the problems on the team that we should focus on. But we got the win today, so I feel great. We headed back to Philadelphia tomorrow, but yeah, that was pretty much it, guys. All right, y'all take care.